Hey everybody, I'm JJ, you're watching Reality Survival. So today we are just going to talk about the differences and the pros and cons to two different kinds of jacks. The first thing that we have here is a high lift jack, and I showed a video not too long ago just mounting it up on the toolbox here. And then the second thing we've got is just an old bottle jack, and this is a 20-ton bottle jack. And it's a short version. It's made, a little bit kind of a stubby sort of version. And both of them have, good uses and bad uses, pros and cons, that kind of thing. And different areas where they're versatile. When we come down to the basic thing that jacks are most frequently probably used for, which is changing tires, the clear winner in that contest is the bottle jack. If you're on a normal roadway with a good stable platform, good ground underneath you and all that kind of stuff, then a bottle jack is far more superior, I would say, to a high lift jack. And the reason is that if you're just jacking off of your bumpers, then with a high lift jack, you have to jack the truck all the way up and you have to take out all the suspension, and it has to get really high before the tires get off the ground. And I'll put in some footage here showing you what I'm talking about. But with the bottle jack, you can slide the bottle jack right underneath the differential. You can get right up underneath the, where the leaf springs mount, or at the bottom of the pumpkin, the actual center of the differential. And you can stick that underneath there and maybe put a block of wood or two in there with it, and then jack it up. And so it's a lot more stable because you're only lifting it, maybe 3-4 inches. You're only getting the tire and the truck up 3 or 4 inches before the truck's off the ground or the wheel's off the ground where you can take it off. Whereas with the high lift jack, you're lifting it way up high and you've got a lot of instability. And so that can make the high lift more dangerous with falls and all that kind of stuff, especially if you're on the side of the road where you have big trucks coming by, big gusts of wind kind of hitting the vehicle and rocking it to the side, because that is where these types of jacks, these high lift types of jacks, are particularly susceptible, to moving and sort of the vehicle falling off center and stuff like that. So for basic tire changing in normal roadway conditions, I would recommend just going with the bottle jack. And if you can get one that has 2-stage on the screw on the top that will go out, there's some of them nowadays have a second level of screw where it'll come up another 3 or 4 inches and give you a little bit more adjustment. Those are even particularly more useful probably. Another pro that the bottle jack has, and the reason that I got this one as a 20-ton, is because if you're carrying a trailer of something heavy and you have a trailer tire go out, that's initially what I bought this for and kept it in my trailer box. Then even if you've got it loaded down, with say 10 or 12,000 pounds, you can still change the tire. Whereas if you had 12,000 pounds with a high lift jack, you're not getting it off the ground, and it's not even rated for it anyway. I think the max weight rating is like 7,000, and the safe working rate is like 4,700 or something like that. So it's really only made to take up kind of one part of the vehicle. It's not made to hold all that weight. So these are rated for significantly heavier loads, and they're good in situations where you've got good solid ground and all that kind of stuff. Where the high lift jack shines is more in off-road applications, and then it also has the added benefit of being able to act as a winch and being able to act as a spreader, it'll spread. You can spread things out as well. A lot of fire trucks and fire crews and stuff like that will use these kinds of jacks for separating doors you know, from door frames and all that kind of stuff. And so they're particularly useful in that way. Also for off-roading and all that kind of stuff, you can, you know, put a wider base on it. They've got different kinds of bases and stuff like that. And you know, that makes them a little bit more versatile in mud and all that kind of jazz. And then you can kind of jack it up high, like if you're high centered, you can jack it up high in the ruts and then knock it over so that the wheels are out of the rut. You know, you do that on the front and the back and get you out of some pretty bad rut situations and stuff like that. But the high lifts are pretty inherently dangerous, so you got to be careful with them. You got to be careful with the handles and all that kind of stuff, because especially when you're jacking down and all the weight is on the lift handle, it can easily come back up and smack you in the head. When I was a kid, I got smacked. It just brushed right beside my jaw, and it didn't actually hit my jaw, but it like caught the edge of my skin, and I was really lucky. But you definitely have to respect these things a lot, because they can hurt you if you're not careful. So anyhow, that's just some thoughts. I had some comments on the last video when I showed the mounting of this, and they were kind of talking about, you know, which one's better and stuff like that. So I figured I'd just do a video, you know, just to let you know that there's more versatility in a high lift jack, but they are more dangerous. And for basic tire use, if you're just a normal guy, you don't spend a whole lot of time off-road and all that kind of stuff, then a bottle jack is probably going to be fine, you know, and or the one that comes with the vehicle even, you know, if you haven't changed the height of your vehicle and all that kind of stuff. Then a bottle jack can work just wonders. They're really great, and they're probably altogether faster and safer, especially paired with a jack stand, you know, throwing a jack stand in there too. So anyway, just a quick little rundown on these. If you guys got any questions on it, then let me know, and I'll do my best to answer them. Anyway, don't forget to live 6 P's. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe, guys.